Well, guys, as I sit here in my home base drinking some homemade coffee that I spilt a little bit, but I want to share that too. Why? Well, because the home base means things are going to spill. You got to clean a little bit more than you would on the road if you were on Starbucks where they make everything, and if they make a mess, they clean it up behind the counter. So, in addition to the meticulous or the pain in the butt stuff like cleaning, and that's why I say get the right square footage. One thing I want to address in this video is the boredom. The boredom of living in a home base or having a home base. Because it is true that on the road there's more adventure, or at least there's more to do. It always keeps you going. You gotta, well, you don't always though. There are some nomads I've seen in vans and RVs, they just stay parked all day. But there is an adrenaline even with that, just being out. And so how do you face that reality? I'll tell you guys and girls, I'll tell you, don't lie to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Okay? So there's something to be said, because I've had a few home bases. I've been full-time on the road. I know both lives. There's something to be said that it is a little bit more boring having a home, especially if it's just you, if you're single, no pets, no kids, and unless you really have a desire and you're called to do that and you're willing to sacrifice for that, I don't think you should get a dog. I don't think you should get a relationship just for the sake of boredom. Okay. If you want those things and you're willing to put in the work, then by all means. But I just don't do things just for the sake of avoiding something. It's like, be careful not to just cause more distractions, more heartache long term. But either way, so as I'm sitting here drinking my coffee, let me take a sip, give you the whole perspective. It is Starbucks coffee, not from Starbucks, like homemade Starbucks coffee. You get the grinded coffee, and I did heat up the soy milk, and that's how it spilt, because I heated up the soy milk in the microwave. So is it as good as Starbucks? No, I still get my Starbucks in the morning, and I could still go in the afternoon. So that's the other thing I want to tell you. So when you first get the home base, you're faced with reality, like sitting there, okay, what do I do now? It's like, well, one is you're going to have to get the home base set up the way you want. Maybe you want a home gym, maybe you want to redo the furniture, maybe you want to redo the painting. Don't do too many renovations, but it's going to take a few months to get the home base how you want. That's going to keep you busy. Okay? And it's going to cost money. And that's a home base. It's the reality. But dealing with the public, guys, forget about it. People who drive, they're not people in the public, dealing with all type of people in the stores all the time. That's what really, I had enough. I mean, so you need balance at some point, okay? But you're going to face the reality of, the home base is a mental commitment, financial commitment, and it could be boring after you get everything set up the way you want. So you could do a few things. One is you can plan trips. Instead of going on a once a year 2 or 3 week vacation, most people have minimum 2 to 4 week vacation. So let's say you have four weeks you could take off in a year. Okay. And you can adjust it depending on how many you have, right? But instead of taking 1 or 2 vacations, take a week vacation once a quarter. Once every 3 months, take a week off, maybe on a holiday weekend, even though I recommend probably not doing a holiday weekend. I don't like crowds. But every 3 months, take a vacation and go somewhere. Travel, whether you go to a local state park, whether you go far, whether you go on a cruise or airplane. I don't like any of those things. But remember, instead of one big chunk, do small chunks. Okay? Instead of one big vacation, going to Europe, or one big vacation, traveling across the country, every 3 months, go on a week vacation. Okay? And that way you always are close to the next vacation, and you rebalance yourself. So that's one way. The other way is break your daily routine up, definitely on the weekends. The weekdays maybe more depending on your work schedule if you're still working and not retired. Go to a public park. Or go to a local campground that has a day use, or go to a local park is really the win. Go to the gym instead of working at home. Go to the gym. I still I haven't found that balance yet. So instead of making your coffee at home, go to the public, find the balance. That's the key thing. It's like, it's going to take months, probably going to take 6 to 8 months, probably a year. Just like I tell you with the nomad life, it take about 9 months to 12 months, just like giving birth. Okay. So you buy the home base, it's going to take a few months to get it set up the way you want. Then it's going to take you about another 6 months. So 3 months to get it set up the way you want. Then another 6 months, 9 months total, to figure out a balance with your daily routine. Okay, how much do I want to make my coffee at home? How much do I want to go out? How much do I want to eat at home? You go to Walmart, you could definitely save money having a home base with food. Okay, and you're going to probably be healthier because you get frozen vegetables, you get brown rice, you get beans, you make that. It's cheaper, it's healthier. Okay, and whatever, right? So, but that means you're home and you're not out. Okay, so maybe on the weekends you go out to eat, or maybe every other day you go out to eat. You have to find your balance. Find your balance. We're individual. We have a different fingerprint. Find your balance. But that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, so I got the home base kind of now just set up the way I want. Okay, and it took a little while because I had one home base. I had to change things up. You always got to change things up. But I definitely know for me at this season, home base for the win. Even though it could be a little pain in the ass, get it clean. Okay, you got more money coming out of your pocket, but you save, you do the right thing. It's worth it. Why? You're going to get screwed either way. So you might as well plan long term, and it's great at night. It's great always knowing you got the place. No one's coming to bother you. No one's knocking at your door. No one's parking next to you. I mean, for the most part, there's problems everywhere, but So the home base, I went back and forth, okay, but I've already decided it's a win long term, and even short. I don't want to keep going different places to park. So I want the home base as part of my strategy for my best life. Your best life requires your best effort. But for those who caught in this adrenaline and they can't find their balance, and many people on the road, they're adrenaline junkies per se. You got to discipline the mind. You find the balance by one, planning vacations. Maybe instead of once a year, you go once a quarter. Second is, instead of making your coffee at home every day, make it every other day, or on the weekends go out for coffee. Same thing with out to dinner. And then same thing, instead of walking in your local community, maybe you go walk in a park, either once a day or once every other day. The public is what I wanted to have less time in because I was way out of balance. But you have so much privacy, you want a little public interaction. You need the balance. But strategically plan vacations, how much you cook at home, how much you go out, how much you walk in your community and outside your community at public parks. And that'll give you a balance. It's going to take about 9 months total to a year. Just like the nomad life took a while. So that's what you got to remember as you re-enter conforming life. Okay? It's just like everything, guys. And then you say, well, I don't want to deal with it. Well, hey guys, look, I see people, guys, they're old, they're in a van or RV, they're parked by the beach or whatever, and they're just sitting in their van, guys. That's not my best life. I respect them. You got to figure out what works for you. Okay, so because you got to ask yourself. To me, when I see, and I see them, like a young hot chick, from Canada, she's got the Canada plates, living a van life. Oh, okay, it makes sense. You know what I mean? That's the look. But when I see an old guy struggling to get out of his car, sometimes with someone or with a dog, and going to take a shower at the gym, I'm like, home base. You need it because it's going to catch up to you. It's a reality. But the boredom is a reality. Don't lie to yourself. I'm being honest. So 3 months you're going to have to take to get the home base set up how you want. Then the next 6 months you got to figure, okay, yeah, you're going to spend a little bit more money. Sometimes I cook at home. Sometimes I go out. Why? Because I live below my means. I bought the house below my means. I can go out when I want. I can travel when I want. But I can discipline myself when I want. So I'm not always in the public. Less panhandlers, less people parallel parking the park right next to you, less knocks on the door, less crazy, but a balance. Because you need a balance. And that's the message. Balance the boredom. Because chaos is the opposite of boredom. And if you just want chaos, guess who's going to be around? No, I could say something else, but I'm not gonna say it. I love everyone, but I want to tell you right now, guys and girls, stay single and stay positive.